Hello all ye with silver and bright dust. Welcome back to the revival of a section that I would usually incorporate for the reset update, but I decided to split it in its own video just so I can give you a little bit of descriptions and going over the weekly Eververse updates in tandem with our reset updates. Now, going for the top for our weekly offerings, we have Laden's Lance available. Now, I will tell you most of these are available for purchase. Like this exotic ornament is available for purchase anytime, but they're honestly just kind of advertising it right off the bat. I do vouch for this Laden's Lance. I've been using Cloud Strike a little bit just because I've been pairing it with Threaded Needle in Damage Boss for Garden of Salvation, so I've honestly liked this. The color palette is a little bit more blander, but I do like the visual look way better. And I do say blander, but it honestly does look plain better. So, as well, Nemean Chariot. This one is one that you would want to buy outright, just in case. This goes along with a seasonal armor set. It is one of the Chopper Sparrows. It does have a pretty basic trail, but if you want to complete the set, this would be one of the things to add to it. As well, Archangel's Might. This is a Rasputin-themed ship, which may not look very underwhelming visually, but it actually does color quite well. Just showing you a few of these colors and how they actually apply to the ship itself. While some parts might remain unchanged, others actually do shader very well. Now, moving on to these emotes in this shell, this is the double hands dance. I mean, it's another dance. It's essentially the Macarena anyways. So unless you're a memer, I wouldn't even bother buying this one. And as well, there's more Synthwave templates and the Adonis Shell, a returning shell for discounted silver. Now, this one is a cool looking shell, but before you buy, just in case, it does have an issue where that purple neon doesn't change. So for some, it really doesn't vibe well, but for others, it actually does. Like this little black and green with Technofusion. But, of course, that's just ghost shells for you. Moving on to what we're all here for, what's available for Bright Dust. So going from left to right, the It's Over emote, which is basically telling you, you done? It's over. Go home. Now, another one that I have to compare, the Queensguard ornament for Chaperone, it's very seasonal. It fits quite well, but I have to admit, it's not doing much for me, because if you actually go over to the collections and look at some of these exotic weapons and other pieces that have been around forever, Chaperone has had many good ornaments over the years. The Guardian Angel came out vanilla. It looked pretty great. It's really shiny, but then 2 seasons after that, during Season 5, Season of the Drifter, they came out with this Panama Ravine weapon ornament for it. And I have used nothing else since. I don't even go stock, which is probably one of the better looking ones. Even when they came out with this Tex Mechanica branded one, I didn't use that just because it was a little more yeehaw than I wanted it, because I wanted this yeehaw, which made it look more traditional, like one of like the M1887 shotgun, the Terminator shotgun. But aside from my preferences with that is the new one. Now, we have a Cabal entrance for a transmit effect, which has you spinning for some reason. I never figured out why. But as well, Hazard Pay, a shader. Now, this one is new to Season Lost. It's a weird color combination. It vibes not terribly on, I'd say, shiny armor, like my chest plate here, but on normal cloth armor, it's hard to say, just because it doesn't carry much of the shine and gloss. Now, moving into the actual Bright Dust store, going from left to right again, Drum Roll, a new exotic emote for Season of Lost. It is an infinite one until you hit the stop button, and when you hit the stop button, it does a little ta-da, hello, and that's it. Now, as well, there is the Nemean Strides, Greaves, or Boots for whichever class. It's basically just the boots for the seasonal armor. If you wish to pick it up, that is good. It is an ornament, and it can go to everything. Well, actually, I think it's individual. Well, you know what I mean. Now, Weaver Shell. This one's back from Season 10. It is a Servitor Ghost Shell that looks like one of Spider Servitors, so it's a little spiky boy. But, unfortunately, a detail that I have noticed, the spikes don't exactly fully shader. About half of it does apply shader, the other half does not. As you can tell from this little War-Weary share, it gets black and white, so it's hard to say whether or not to like it. As well, for a Sparrow, we have the Immoderate Splendor. This one was the Hunter set from Season 10 as well. There was a little casual Hunter, Titan, and Warlock look, and they all had associated Sparrows and Ghosts. This one is the associated Sparrow for it. As well, a blue emote, which is a little wave goodbye. A new, returning ornament for Leviathan's Breath, which is also its only ornament so far, all the way back from Season the Undying, aka Season 8, when we are approaching Season 14. And lastly, an Aramis projection, which is a nice little doodad for your ghost, a little Forsaken logo. Forsaken, excuse me, Beyond Light. Now, going through these 4 shaders, some ringers, Buffer Overflow is a pretty good one. It does vibe pretty well with a bronze and red shiny look to it. It would definitely recommend it for guns. Armor, meh. You have to pick the right armor. Now, Verdigris, this is one that I would definitely recommend mainly for guns, unless you really like a seafoam green color palette all over your Guardian, because it really doesn't shine. It's more matte classic look to it. It's way more intended for guns, honestly. Now, Carbon Blood, this is a ringer of a look just because of the fact that I've been applying it to almost every one of my guns recently. This came out in Season of the Hunt. I didn't find it again until Season of Chosen. It's a glossy red matte black with white color shader. And don't lie, most people are a fan of black and red looks. I would definitely recommend picking this up and adding it to your arsenal. And Rustberry, this one took me by surprise just because it's rust-like colors, and it's definitely a Tex Mechanica idea, but it's like rust-like colors without rusty aesthetic. So brown, blacks, yellow, orangish. It honestly looks really good on Lucky Pants, now that I look at it a second time. But aside from those shaders, we have 3 more transmats to look at: the Flashbang of Traveler's Wake effects, the Illicit Transmat effects, which is basically a little Gambit green shrivel ring from Season of the Drifter way back when, and Eldritch effects from Season of the Opulent, and it's a little pop out of a hive tombstone. Now with that, that is everything available for Bright Dust this week of September the 28th, reviving the old Eververse covering, and hopefully this goes well. You know, every video is another chance to make it big, so to speak. But of course, with that, my name is Matt Scorpion, and thank you very much for watching.